Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all here tonight. We didn't expect all that many. Indeed, we had a lot less people invited on this occasion. But obviously, as we've stated to many people, that if the house was 4 times bigger, it would be packed as well. We tried to keep our invitations limited as much as possible. And you're all more than welcome, indeed, very, very welcome from the far east. We will say to the girls up the stairs. And to the far west, to the people in Monaghan and Tournafulla and Broadford, not to forget. And all the other areas, and indeed Tulla, County Clare, Danny Hunt is here with us again. And Anne-Marie of the Ferrymen, we're delighted to have her here. Indeed, her father, if he had his way, she'll be here every night. So, we will start off with Deirdre Scanlon. Before we call Deirdre to sing, we're a little bit behind the schedule on starting, which we're sorry about. We would prefer to be more advanced at this point in the night. For those of you who weren't here before, we will be taking music singers and dancers in and out between conversation with the older people. So if we don't talk to you, then it'll mean that you were considered in the younger category. And for those who we will be speaking to, we will be hopefully, if my memory reminds me as I go, that we will be talking about Shrove Tuesday, which is tonight, Lent, the Black Fast, Easter time, and May Evening and Pishogues and that type of an area. So hopefully we will cover everything that happened in Rhode Island. And of course, the main topic of discussion tonight was springtime and the farming community, and mainly in the days of the horse and plough rather than the days of the zetters and the Fords and so on. We wouldn't be having much time for those up here on the side of Knockfierna Hill tonight. So Deirdre Scanlon will open the show with us with Eileen McMahon. Deirdre, as you know, has been with us since she was almost in nappies indeed, and she's been singing with us on the various radio shows and programs that we've done since that time. Even Micah Hearn is in time tonight, and that's a rare event in itself. Due to our late start. So Deirdre will put it underway with a song, and hopefully we'll follow that on with a few more songs and tunes. We have a lot of entertainers, a lot of singers, and hopefully we'll get to you all during the course of the evening. Again, at 11:15, we are told by Tom O'Donnell of Radio Limerick that he will be contacting us, and this event then will be going live at that point in time from 11:15 until 12 o'clock. It will be my intention to get in as many people as possible. We also know it will be impossible to fit all of the singers and musicians into the radio during that space of time that we have. So my apologies in advance to those who will not be fitted in. Last night they did fit it in because he gave us an extra 20 minutes or so, and we were lucky to get everybody included that night. I am afraid tonight it won't be possible to fit them all in because he's doing a tribute to Mick Delahunty at 12 o'clock, and he says our time is up at that time. So Deirdre will shoot away with Eileen McMahon before she roasts from the rear. That's Deirdre, not Eileen McMahon. Stand up, Fred.
One night as I lay down to slumber, a vision came into my view of a ship sailing over the ocean as the cold winds tremendously blew. On the deck stood a handsome young lady, and her features I've never seen before, as she sighed for the wrongs of her country, saying I'm banished from air and green shore. Well, I quickly approached this fair maiden, and I asked her the cause of her sigh, saying, cheer up, my handsome young maiden, and I'll be as your slave on the voyage. Oh, she looked at me in meditation as the tears from her blue eyes did flow, saying I am an exile from Erin, that land where the green shamrock grows. And my name, it is Eiley McMahon, and my age, it is scarcely 18. And I thank you, dear sir, for your kindness, for you don't know how lonely I've been. For the want of employment in Ireland, I was forced as an exile to stray far away from my home in Killarney, where in childhood I used to roam. Now the ship on the ocean has vanished, but in fancy I see her once more, my beautiful Eiley McMahon. She's the pride of old Erin's green shore. And then I awoke from my slumber, my beautiful Eiley to see, but 'twas only the face of my mother as she stood fondly gazing at me.
Tonight's session is brought to you with the compliments of Knockfierna Heritage and Folklore Group. Hartnett, a well-known balladeer, will sing Noreen Bawn.
There's a glen in old Tyrconnell, there's a wee house in that glen, where there dwelt an Irish colleen, who inspired the hearts of men. She was healthy, hale and hearty, fair and graceful as the dawn. All the neighbours loved that handsome widow's daughter, Noreen Bawn. Till one day there came a letter with her passage paid to go to the land where the Missouri and the Mississippi flow. Then she said goodbye to Erin, and next morning at the dawn, that poor widow, broken-hearted, bid farewell to Noreen Bawn. Many years that widow waited, till one morning to her door came a gorgeous looking lady. Costly were the clothes she wore, saying, "Mother, don't you know me? Sure, I've only got a cold, but purple spots upon her, the tragic story told." There's a churchyard in Tyrconnell where the flowers wildly wave. There's a broken-hearted mother kneeling o'er that lonely grave. Am I not in, she's saying, it's been lonely since you've gone. 'Twas the curse of emigration brought you here, my Noreen born. Fine young and tender lassies, ponder well before you go to the land where the Missouri and the Mississippi flow. What is gold and what is silver when your health and strength are gone? When you think of emigration, won't you think of Noreen born?
Thank you very much, Anne Hartnett of Ballingarry, of Anne-Marie and the Ferrymen will sing The Waters is Wide, and Peter Mullins is going to back her in the accordion. Guitar. That's like Michael Gould and myself down at the Dunraven Arms one night recently. The Tully Kelly band were doing a recording for the Radio Éireann. And he had Lord Dunraven of Dungarvan, so he said that 3 times before he got it right. So we'll give Peter Mullins a guitar.
The water is wide, I can cross o'er, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that will carry two, and boat shall row my love and I. For love is gentle and love is kind, the sweetest flower when first it's new. But love grows old and waxes cold and fades away like the morning dew. There is a ship and it sails the sea. It's loaded deep can be, but not as deep as the love I'm in. I know not how I sink or swim, for love is gentle and love is kind, the sweetest flower when first it's new. But love grows old and waxes cold and fades away like the morning The water is wide, I can cross o'er, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that will carry two, and boat shall row, my love and I. Yes, boat shall row, my love and I.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. That fine voice was Anne-Marie Noonan of Anne-Marie and the Ferryman, whose band are very popular throughout County Limerick, County Clare and County Kerry. Indeed, a very, very popular band indeed. Our next person playing is Patricia Corbett, playing very nice, rare enough instrument in West Limerick, the concertina. I have got that one right, have I? It's not a banjo or anything like that. Patricia Corbett. Patricia was on Radio Limerick. This was about 3 or 4 years ago, indeed, one of our first outings. And she got lost along the way, so we're delighted we eventually found her again. We'd hate to lose a lady with a concertina. Patricia Corbett. Last night he comes from a hill in County Clare. He will sing The Cottage in the Glen. That will be followed by 2 newcomers. They weren't latecomers now, they were newcomers. They were here before most others. Deirdre Cullinan, who plays the harp, and Michelle Broughton, guitar, if you pronounce that right. And they will play as a duo, and they'll be coming down the stairs, not from the bed. Some of the locals used to tell us here that Henny Green had a puck out up there, so if you see something with horns sticking out tonight, you'll know it's Henny Green. She used to keep the goats up there. So Danny Hunt will sing The Cottage in the Glen, and the 2 ladies from Mianus will be coming on immediately after that.
I'm sitting all alone in my little country home. Sweet memories keep coming back to me of the days we used to play outside, watch the people passing by in the little country cottage in the glen. That little country cottage in the glen. We share those happy memories back then. Oh, how the times have changed and life's been rearranged in the little country cottage in the glen. How I love love that cottage, it's all so good to me. It's where my mother and father raised our family. We didn't have much money, sure it didn't matter then, in the little country cottage in the glen. That little country cottage in the glen, we share those happy memories back then. Oh, how the times have changed and life's been rearranged in the little country cottage in the glen. In the little country cottage in the glen.
Thank you. That was Danny Hunt from the Hills in County Clare, and Danny has a band. He is playing in Limerick shortly indeed. Danny and his band are playing in Castlemahon at Liston's Lounge on St. Patrick's night. Danny Hunt there, and he was accompanied by Peter Mullins of the Ferrymen. So we are now taking the two girls from Manus on the harp. So if you would please, a bit of silence now please if you can, and we'll move as fast as we can. Thank you.
Change
gentlemen, we'll continue on. David Brown from Broadford in County Limerick, this is not in County Clare, and he will do a song from Sive. David, you might have seen on the B.B. Baskin show recently, in a tribute to John B. Keane. He did The Road to Abbeyfield on that occasion, and it was very, very fine indeed. So, David Brown.
Oh, come all good men and true, a sad tale I'll tell to you, of a maiden that was known to me as Sive. She was young and sweet and fair, but that household sad and bare, her marriage to an old man did contrive. But the tinker's son came into that house of want and sin, and his father Pat Spacock smote on the floor, saying, "Carol on my blade, let a noble song be played, bringing plenty on this house forevermore." Oh, Mike Glavin, you're the man, you were always in the van, with an open house to all men and garçon. May white snuff be at your wake, baker's bread and corny cake, and plenty on your table late and soon. But they scorned the tinker's son when his song of praise was done, and his father Pat Spacock smote on the floor, saying, "Catherine, my jewel, sing a song both wild and cruel, bringing sorrow on this house forevermore." On the road to Abbeyfield, sure I met a man with mail. "Come here, sissy, and pass your idle time." On me he made quite bold, saying the young would wed the old, and the old man have the money for the child. And Tamashin Rother sat down beside the fire, and sold the girl's Sive that very night. Pat Spacock made on his quest, saying, "Sing your mighty best." And the song of Caroline was like a blight. May the snails ate up his corpse, may the rains do harm worse, may the divil ate the hairy crater soon. He's as greedy as a sow, as a crow behind the plough, the black man from the mountain Sean in Roe. May his brains and eyeballs burst, may he screech with awful thirst, that melted on that big bostone. May the mange eat up his head, and the flays consume his bed, the black man from the mountain shone in row. But the bonny Sive took flight, like a wild bird in the night, and the waters washed her sweet white body o'er. And her true love found her there, and stacked her golden hair, and left her on the dark and dismal shore. Then out spoke bold Pat Spacock, and his eyes were grey with shock, and his hair was white as winter when he cried, saying, "Carthalon, my gem, sing out a woeful hymn, all of the girl and of the one who died." Oh, come all good men and true, a sad tale I'll tell to you, of a maiden fair that died this very day. For they drowned lovely Sive, as she would not be a bride, and they laid her far to bury in the clay.
I was going to introduce David there a while ago as being the brother of the better-known Vincent journalist, but indeed I should probably be saying Vincent is a brother of the better-known David in the line of that very fine attempt. Our sincere thanks, David, for coming. Thank you very much. Thanks, David. Bye. Bye. Our next entertainer on the night is Tom O'Donoghue of Castlemahon. Again, Tom has been... David. We'll be putting the bed up in the middle of the floor, and a lady went out, two ladies went out actually, which is a bad sign in itself. That's what happened anyway. So hopefully when the two of them, one will lie in the bed and the other one will not. And that will be a little scene that will come on after Tom O'Donoghue. Tom. She'll be under the blanket, I hope that's. The last night we had Bridge O'Donoghue here from Grana, and she was looking for a man. We got umpteen offers, but in view of the fact that her husband was about, we didn't pass on any of them. Tonight we have advanced slightly with Bridge O'Donoghue doing the waking of Kate Finucane, and Nora O'Keefe of Ballingarry will, is it right to say the corpse, but she'll be the patient on the bed, or she'll be the item on the bed anyhow. So, and indeed there were even offers in relation to that as well, I can assure you. So Nora, will you?
She's the handsome corpse, he said. Devil a difference between living and dead, you'd see enough. A fine ripe face on a starchy pillow, edged with lace. Her cold hands clasped, her mousy hair, as neatly tied as a girl at the fair. Touching 40 she was when she passed away, but 20 she looked as she lay in bed in the broad of her back. Kate Finucane of Knockfierna Hill was stretched in death, but she looked her best. Her cousins, they came from all parts of the kingdom for the wake. Coffees and lanes from Dingle, McCarthy's and Ryan's, married and single, honest and always. For a day and a night, they danced and they prayed, and they sang up to heaven, as fine a wake as ever I was at in all my time. Well, there was nothing to do after the praying and the drinking, but lift herself into the coffin. 'Twas at that moment, glory be to God, as I stood at the head of her bed with my glass in my hand, that she stretched like a cat and opened her eyes and lifted her head in great surprise. Mother of God, will I ever forget the cut and the go and the sight and the set of her, when calm as you like, with one toss of her head, Kate Finucane sat up in the bed. No need to tell of the confusion that fell on the cousins, the neighbours, myself and the place. Dead she'd been, and now this disastrous return to life, upsetting the whole place, and I thinking her body was lacking the soul. Well, after a while, things quietened down, and Kate made tea for the cousins. She found she hadn't seen them for ages. And what's more, she clapped her eye on a granny man called Hanley. Later, she marched him in rare style up to the altar. And on top of that, she showed the world she could make a dandy wife. For without fear or favour, without fear or doubt, Kate Finucane has a child here. Gay woman Kate Maloney said, "There's a difference between living and dead."
Nora O'Keefe, of delighted to see her rising from the bed again from Ballingarry. She said if that's what the rub on the corpses, she doesn't wish to be one for a long time to come. So we will now introduce